We are quite often asked by new clients, what can I claim as a business expense? The answer is not very simple, since there is no list of what is allowable. When it comes to what is allowable as a business expense, the Canada Revenue Agency only has two basic rules. One, is the expense reasonable considering the circumstances, and two, was the expense incurred for the purposes of earning business income. If your expenses are reviewed by the CRA, they will use this criteria to determine if the expense is eligible. Is it ordinary? Is it an expense that is common among other businesses, such as advertising? 2. Is the expense necessary to run and grow your business? This would be true of telephone costs. And 3, is the expense reasonable under the circumstances? Let's look at ordinary. These would be common expenses that are incurred by most businesses as they go about their operations. Ordinary items could include purchases for resale, accounting fees, advertising and promotion costs, and telephone bills. Necessary would include things that are definitely needed to run your business. This could include delivery vehicles, office supplies, legal fees, and cell phones. A cell phone for your spouse that is not involved in the business, however, would not be necessary and likely disallowed. Let's look at reasonable. Reasonable depends upon the circumstances. For example, if you had to travel to Vancouver to attend a conference and paid $750 per night for the penthouse suite of a hotel, would this be reasonable? Not likely. If, however, you paid $200 per night for a regular room at the same hotel, would that be reasonable? Probably. This one is highly unlikely no matter how you spin it. Unless your family is directly involved with the business and the trip has a significant business purpose, the CRA will almost always disallow these types of expenses. There are also some other common expenses that you may be able to claim, such as a home office. To claim home office expenses, the space must meet two criteria. 1. It must be your principal place of business, and 2. It must be used regularly to meet with clients. If you do not meet both of these criteria, it is highly likely that the CRA will not allow you to claim a home office. If you're eligible to claim a home office, you can usually claim the following items in your calculation: utilities, property taxes, repairs and maintenance, insurance, and mortgage interest. With home office expenses, there are a couple of other items to remember. First, the office must be a distinct, separate space. You cannot use your kitchen table once a week and call it your office. Second, the claim is based upon the space used as your office versus the entire area of your home, and it must be reasonable. Finally, the CRA almost never allows a home office claim for realtors and several other occupations. Remember, it must be your principal place of business. There are a few expenses that are highly questionable, and the CRA has a habit of questioning these items. Meals are one of the most disallowed items by the CRA. Remember the rules: reasonable and for the purposes of earning business income. Your lunches, trips to Tim Hortons, and stops at McDonald's are not, no matter how hard you try to justify them, allowable expenses. Vehicle expenses are very closely scrutinized. Never are 100% of vehicle expenses allowed. The CRA will always argue there is a personal use component to the vehicle. Additionally, all vehicle expenses must be prorated between business and personal use, and you must keep a mileage log to document the trips. Finally, travel expenses. Taking your family on a vacation will never be an allowable expense, no matter how hard you try. Taking your spouse with you on a business trip, although the trip may be business-related, the costs of taking your spouse with you will not be allowable. For any and all expenses you claim, you must be able to produce actual receipts. A credit card statement does not qualify as a receipt. You must have the receipt that illustrates the item purchased, the name of the supplier, their business number, the amount, and the applicable tax paid. If you are audited and you cannot produce receipts, the expense will be disallowed. Remember, the onus is on you, the taxpayer, to be able to justify and prove all claims for expenses that you make. Our tax system is one of self-assessment, and the CRA has the right to verify the information you give them. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. If you have any questions, please contact us. We're here to help.